Everyone down in Draperville liked Christmas a lot, but a teen who lived near them most certainly did not. His face was uglier than a wrinkled prune. He wasn't very friendly and always played the loon. His skin was as green as the snot on a hanky. This is the Grinch, a teen and a lanky. The Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now, please don't ask me why, no one quite knows the reason. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be, perhaps, that his shoes were too tight. But I think the most likely reason of all is that his heart was too tiny for someone that tall. Staring down from his man cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the warm lighted windows below in their town, for he knew every draper down in Draperville beneath were hanging their stockings and mistletoe wreaths.
They're wrapping their presents,
he snarled with a sneer.
Tomorrow is Christmas, it's practically here.
Then the Grinch grunted with his lanky fingers drumming.
I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming.
Then he got an idea, an awful idea.
I know just what to do.
The Grinch laughed in his throat, and he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat. And he chuckled and clucked.
What a great Grinchy trick! With this coat and this hat, I'll look just like Saint Nick. All I need is a reindeer.
Grinch looked around, but 'cause we're in Bristol, there was no reindeer to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? No, the Grinch simply said,
If I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead.
So he called his dog over, then he took some red thread, and he tied some antlers to the top of her head. Then he loaded some sacks on a ramshackle sleigh, hitched up the dog and went off on his way. His sleigh started down towards Draperville town. All their windows were dark, quiet snow filled the air. All the drapers were dreaming sweet dreams without care.
This is stop number 1.
The old Grinchy Claus hissed, and climbed to the roof with empty bags in his fist. Then he slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch, but if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once, for a moment or two, then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue, where the little draper stockings all hung in a row.
Those stockings,
he grinned,
are the first thing to go.
Then he slithered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant. Around the whole room he took every present. He stuffed them in bags, and then the Grinch very nimbly shoved all the bags, one by one, up the chimbley. Then he slunk to the kitchen, and he stole their great feast, all their trappings and trimmings, even their roast beast. Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee, and now, grinned the Grinch,
I will stuff up their tree.
Then he did the same thing to the other draper houses, leaving nothing at all, not even for their mouses. It was 1/4 dawn, all the drapers still abed, all the drapers still a snooze, while he packed up the sled. With a holler and a whoop, he rode round to the dump, to get rid of their Christmas, the naughty green chump.
Pooh-poo to you.
He was Grinch's.
They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up, and I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open, and they'll all cry boo-hoo. That's the noise,
grinned the Grinch,
that I simply must hear.
So he paused, and the Grinch put his hand to his ear. And he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started out low, then it started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad. Why, this sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so, but it was merry, very. He stared down at Draperville. The Grinch popped his eyes. Then he shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise. Every draper down in Draperville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came, somehow or other. It came just the same. And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling.
How could it be so? It came without ribbons, it came without tags, it came without packages, boxes or bags.
And he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before.
Maybe Christmas,
He thought,
doesn't come from the store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more.
and what happened then? Well, in Draperville they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 6 sizes that day. And the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with this load through the bright morning light. He brought back the toys and the food for the feast, and he, the Grinch himself, carved up the roast beef.